when it turned out you were a clothing company, all of a sudden I was like, okay, now I had to switch my mindset. By then I was 30 seconds in, right? So I kind of like how drastic you tried to make the intro. Like, a powerful intro is you need that to communicate. And there's a lot of clothing companies in PE, and you have to do something to stand out in the beginning. I don't know how you tie in clothing to the 18 months, but if you can tie it in so I know what you do, or as a clothing company, we can prevent the end of the world in the next 18 months. Now I'm like, tell me how.
There's a pretty simple version.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what.
And then I'll just finish. I thought you were my favorite. You were my second favorite. I like what you talked about the products, but the products should be earlier. I know you did clothing. I know you did sustainable clothing. Do you do underwear? Do you do shoes? Do you do socks? Is it like beat? What am I making? It took me 4 minutes to figure out, you guys make sustainable suits? I'm all ears, because I got like the Joker inside. I'd love to say my jacket's recyclable or made from recyclable clothing, but I don't know that until I'm 4 minutes in. So if you appeal to me in the beginning about the type of clothes, you mean Mr. Colson and I can go to the gym in like recyclable shorts? Maybe it's not like appealing to us, but it's a unique value proposition, right? That it stands out to me. I can work out and not contribute waste to the environment. Because right now, when I outgrow my clothes, I donate it or throw it away. Now I don't have to do it. So if you can communicate that in the first 60 seconds, I put you guys way ahead of New Apps already. If you can do that. Sorry, I'm done.
No, I want to go off that actually. As someone who has used like Trunk Club or Stitch Fix or whatever it is, two things here. First, I was actually confused by the first slide and I was panicking for you because I thought that you had accidentally started in the middle of the presentation. So by the time I was like, wait, are they okay? We had already kind of moved past this and then I was a little confused from there. But I didn't realize necessarily that you were doing the whole bundling of the types of clothing or like the clothing that was offered until later on. And as somebody who has dealt with those types of companies before, I would have loved to see that like almost right away because that would have caught at least my attention from the start. And then also I did have two questions. Is the inflation rate, are we going off 1.7% or 1.8%?
It's 1.8%.
Okay. Okay, so make sure that that's correct. And then the other thing.
She's counting slides again.
Oh God, I don't even know. Okay, can you? I don't know if you know it more. Well, that's slide 2. Slide 22, I would have definitely liked to see earlier. Just kind of once again going off of, I think it would have been more impactful for me to see exactly all the different types of things that you guys have right from the start. And then so if that's 22, if you go to slide 24, and I think this is an issue with the presentation just happened here, I actually have no idea what your mobile app looks like. Yeah, I know the sign-on pages, I know what my email should be, and I know how short my password should be, but I had zero idea of what the mobile looks like versus the desktop. And because just about every person uses mobile more than they'll go on their computer, I want to know that that's easily accessible and that it's user-friendly. So.
And hold on, what's the unique thing about your app? Because
I have no idea.
Right now, if you pitch to the same judges, I know New Apps sent you a template. Which means if I see New Apps first, they get points for, oh, hey, nice app. Then I look at you, I go, shoot, same app. You guys get points deducted because they sold you a template. Does that make sense?
Theirs was like moving along. It wasn't as much as I'd like, but we don't have anything moving here. It's just, this is what it is, not really what it is, but kind of.
Yeah, it can't be like Mr. Colson said, I have an app, check. It should be, I have an app, here's why they're going to download it and use it. And for New Apps, it has to be, here's why we sold it. Because this theoretically is advertising for New Apps. If you put crap on screen, and the bad news for New Apps, and Trev is shaking his head because he knows MatchWear goes first the day of the competition. If they say New Apps sold us this, when New Apps goes, they say, oh, that was the crappy app we saw. Yeah, terrible representation.
On the 22, slide 22, it took 22 slides to get there, I think is the point. 22. I had to sit there before I even knew what he did. And the mission statement, we were talking about that before, slide 11. And if you go to any website of any company, on the home page is the mission statement. Bring that up. That's got to be there a little earlier. As far as presentation went, the very first, I'm sorry, did you just remember his name? Rachel, I love Rachel. And you mentioned the accent. I loved it. I was listening the whole time. This guy, really? I'm listening. Read the phone book. I'm happy. Read the phone book. He's that good. I think he's that good. So those two really stood out to me. Definitely. You were working through you had your trip. You came working through it. But the only thing I'm just a little constructive criticism, just a little something to take forward. Then when you came back, though, I always felt that your eye motion led me to believe that you were trying to recall the information more than you were trying to show me the passion and feeling behind the information. So you were saying the words because you're just working so hard to recall them in order and accurately. I wasn't feeling connected to the information. That's all.
I really liked the presentation. I thought this side was, I think they had better speeches, and they looked a little bit more comfortable. I feel like with speeches, you got to pick out the best speakers of the group, and the ones that aren't as good, maybe one of the best speakers stand next to the one that isn't as good. Maybe mental support. I love the second slide with showing the names on the hangers. I thought the hangers were very creative, and when you're dealing with clothing, that's what they look for.
Good subtle detail,
I like,
right? Those things.
I like the hangers. I really do.
So for the presentation, before Mr. Molinar finishes, for your presentations, you get up to 5 points just for the PowerPoint, right? This is a 5. New apps would have gotten like a 1.5 to a 2. This subtlety that Mr. Molinar connects with is what makes them say they pay attention to details. I want to pay attention more. 5 out of 5. Right? That spelling mistake on new apps is for the 528,000. 0 out of 5. So there's things that these are easy layups for you guys to make. Just make sure you're very meticulous. And this is where the whole company comes into play. Everybody has to play a role in identifying some of these issues.
Last part, I like the fact at the beginning. I don't know who was the one that was trying to change the slide into the right format. You always in business, you have to learn from others' mistakes. And I saw that somebody tried to correct it because of the previous group that went up. But overall, good job.
I quite enjoyed the presentation. I love the intro. I love the outro. I feel that the brand presence was there. The only thing is in the beginning I felt death was looming. Right in the next slide. I do believe in sustainability. We live in a world where we just dividing the resources and stuff. Your target market, you said you were targeting Gen Zers and millennials. You also said 28% of the gender 50% will pay extra for sustainability, and they will pay for your product. I mean, as an investor, I would like to know where you get that data from. It's just a statement, you put it in a slide or something, because a lot of times when you're pitching, data can just be fluffed, and you're going to be asked by a VC or an angel investor, they're going to ask you exactly where you get the data, and if you don't have a quick response, then I'm not going to believe you, and I'm not going to invest in you. In terms of presentation, young men right here, you weren't looking at us, you were looking over there, and that's why you're looking at the bottom. The ability to present in front of a room, it takes time. Just continue on doing it. I do love that you backed them up and you spoke a word with us left up. That's the teamwork, that's collaboration, and if that has an easy state like your campus, that's huge. And for you, it's just gonna take time. You guys are young. You got the fashionista over here and stuff. I could tell that you're all numbers. For some reason, I could tell that. If I ask you what the P&L is or where's the liability asset, this is the guy over here. But overall, I like the presentation.
Last, before we go, your top 2 or 3, just like the previous company.
Rachel, you said, right? Rachel's, she's my number one.
It's like a draft.
Yeah. I feel bad doing this. Rachel, 100%. And I'm sorry, what's your name? Joyce. You felt very engaging at first, but I wanted to see, maybe this is like the cheerleader in me, I don't know, but I just wanted to see like more energy, more smiles, and that goes for anybody presenting, because you had great presentation, but I felt like attacked. I felt personally attacked by you. I was scared. Yeah. So if you just put a little bit of lightness to it. I know that we're talking about a very serious situation and we're talking about sustainability. It's awesome. But I would have been like more pumped about it from the start if there was just like a little bit more lightness.
Now, sometimes it's who does the intro, right? So you might even be able to keep the intro and have somebody else say it and have a different tone, different voice. You guys can consider it. So sometimes it goes down to who delivers what at the same time.
And it goes for like what you're talking about. Like I know we just said before that we knew that you were numbers, and that's what I like. I know that Tom said it before, but like when we're talking numbers, I don't need you to give me like the pep. I just want to know straight up what it is. But for the intro, great way that we were going about it, just like a little bit more to it.
I kind of did my top
Oh,
right
yeah.
there, so it's going to know where I stand with that.
The top ones, or like I was saying, the folks to the right, what's your name? Like Rachel, Lucy, and your first name. Those are my favorite, my top three. He was pretty good too, so it was really tough on this one.
My favorite, Nick, Joyce, and my third one, Rachel.
Come on, Professor, do it.
My favorite, this young lady here. Second, the swag man. And third, that's teacher's pet, professor's pet.
You guys have to call him Swag Man from now on. All right, guys, thank you.